I woke up today and I didn't expect this to happen. I can't believe this happened. It should have just been a normal day, but it wasn't. I woke up to go to school like any other day at Midwich Elementary School. Today's agenda was to do generators. I think we had to finish about 5 or so. A usual day, a normal project. I walked down to get started on my first one and then I saw it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Black cloak, knife, white mask, stabbed me in the back. I didn't know why it was chasing me. I hid behind a table. I kept hiding. I was hoping it would go away, but instead it struck me down, cut me behind my hamstring. It picked me up, and it walked with me. It carried me. And I just couldn't understand what was happening. It was supposed to be a normal day. It threw me on a hook. When did we get hooks at our elementary school? I realized it wasn't going to be a day like any other. I hung there for a little bit, waiting for someone to rescue me, alone with my thoughts, processing the trauma that had just happened. Why was there a man in a cloak at my school? Why did he stab me? Why did he throw me on a hook? And why was I still alive? These were questions I needed to answer, but I wasn't going to answer them just hanging around. Luckily, my friend, Vittorio Toscano, came and rescued me. He performed some witchcraft with healing hands. I didn't know what he was doing, but I knew my injuries were improving, and suddenly, I was feeling a whole lot better. My other friend Ripley ran down the hallway. I told them what I saw. They didn't believe me. They ran off. They thought I was screwing around. They thought I put myself on the hook. I tried to explain. Nothing, and then I hid, petrified for a little bit at what had just happened to me. But did it really happen to me? Or was it the meds the doctor prescribed me on recently? I wasn't sure. All I knew is that they made me feel funny. But I knew I had a job to do, so I went back to work on generators. I ran into my other friend, Feng Min. She was minding her own business, listening to music. I figured I would be safe hanging out with her. We didn't really talk much. She wasn't the most social of types. She watched and listened to music. I checked the hallways back and forth. It happened again. Almost as suddenly as it happened the first time around. The man in the cloak, the man with the face, he grabbed me. He threw me on another hook. I was in pain. It was in agony. Black, vicious spider claws came for me from the darkness. But somehow, I was still alive. I wasn't dead yet. I struggled. I knew this couldn't be the meds. I knew this had to be real. I was hoping somebody else would believe me. I hung there. I needed answers. And mostly, I needed a new job. I didn't want to do these generators anymore. I wanted to leave this school. But somebody closed the doors. So we had no way out. Until we finished all 5 generators. My friends healed me. They used the magic healing hands that they did before. I didn't really know how or why they worked that way, but they made me feel better, so I didn't argue with it. And then I heard it, a scream from the distance. I ran far away. I knew that it, whatever it was, got one of my friends, and I did not want to go and feel another hook impaled through my chest yet again. So I headed for one of the classrooms. I headed down the hall. I tried to lay low for a little bit, but I knew I had to do these generators because I had to leave the school. Was it me? Was it the meds? I'll never know. I continued to work. Did that really just happen to me twice? Did I really get chased by something from the darkness? I couldn't help but be paranoid. I watched my back. I watched my left. I watched my right. I left the room to go hide again. I heard another scream. I was petrified. But I knew I had to get these gens done. So it was the only way to open the doors and leave the school. This damn blasted school. I saw him again. I ran for it before I even knew what happened. And then I hid behind yet another table. The last thing I wanted was to feel a hook. And then I saw him. He ran into a pallet. Why do we even have these pallets laying around? I wasn't complaining. I almost got away. But then he found me at the last second. He chased me. He stabbed me with his knife. I ran for it. I ran. I jumped out of a window onto the first floor. I landed on my ankles and didn't hurt a single thing. Kept running. Luckily, my sixth sense told me to bring a medkit with me today. So I ran to look for somewhere safe so I could hide, so I could heal, so I could mend my own wounds for once. Found another one of these pallets. Decided to heal myself. The last thing I wanted to do was to take another hook. All I wanted was to get out, to go home, to make it to the safety of my own bedroom. But I didn't know if that was in the cards for me. I decided the only way out was to be very careful, to be very sneaky, to be very stealthy. And to finish these last generators. We only had one more left to go. 4 were done. My teammates and fellow employees at the school were doing some good work. But the work was not yet done. Found one more generator to work on. And work away I did. But I was paranoid. I checked my right. I checked my left. I checked my north. I checked my south. I was checking every direction. Making sure the creature from the dark didn't come for me. Another scream. Another teammate taking another hook. What is this madness? Why are we all alive? Why haven't we died yet? Am I dreaming? Is it the meds? I don't really know at this point. All I know is I'm trying to get this generator done as fast as I possibly can. But my nerves are getting the better of me. I walk off, I leave the generator, and I decide to hide. My rationale says this creature's gonna look for these generators, and if I'm far away, maybe I have a strong chance of living. Maybe I'll stay alive. Maybe I'll get the last gen done, and maybe I'll make my escape. I heard something. Maybe it was nothing. Saw him again. Again. He was back. He was back. I threw a pallet. It did nothing. I ran away. He stabbed me in the back. I'm bleeding. I'm running. I found another pallet, and I decided I couldn't drop it in time. He struck me down. He lifted me up again for the 3rd time. He walked me down the hall. I wiggled, I tried, I struggled, but I couldn't escape. And then it happened. A hook. My heart can take no more. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. I'll see you on the next one. Oh.